Welcome to the Feats and Fables 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons streaming game just for adventurers like you. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and throughout the internets, wherever you get your podcasts, just by searching for Feats and Fables. If you want to watch us live and chat with us, we'd love to chat with you. Join us on Twitch from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday nights at Feats and Fables. Our entire backlog is available on our YouTube channel. I'm Paige Lightman, your DM, and I'd like to welcome you to Aglarond. Aglarond is a peaceful pastoral nation of half-elves. Our heroes of Aglarond are a part of the Foresters, an elite team of scouts and rangers charged with defending Aglarond's borders, particularly against undead from the evil fascist nation of Thay. The heroes are racing towards the Singing Sands because the nation of Thay is also trying to recover the same elven artifact that they are.
What?
The Red Wizards of Thay wish to warp the artifact to their own evil ends. Previously, on Feats and Fables, our heroes attacked the home of the Thayan wizard, Thazar Ashira, and enchanters who had been holding several gnoll matriarchs captive. The heroes freed all of the gnoll matriarchs, and ostensibly, the gnolls will now be moving to a relatively unpopulated area of southeast Aglarond to live freely and also to be shock troops in case Thay starts invading through the southeastern border.
So we talked to this Gnoll elder.
Yeah.
Right. So
tell me about the gnolls.
There is a whole contingent of gnolls moving towards you in a rather purposeful manner. And Oduxi comes up first, but flanking them are several of the larger gnoll matriarchs that were in captivity with the golden beads braided into part of their manes. And one of them comes forward and bows relatively deeply in kind of an awkward fashion. Like, I feel like gnolls have digitigrade legs and a bow doesn't work quite the same that way. And says, "We owe you thanks. You have freed our people, and you have freed us. What could we possibly give you to demonstrate our thankfulness?" And I guess she's probably addressing that to Ross, because he's the tallest.
Perfect.
I mean, or no, that seems like an adequate way to determine who's in charge.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was not expecting to be addressed to, so like Ross is like looking around.
Wildfire steps up to Ross and goes, "Shh."
Is there somebody behind me? Like Ross turns around and looks. We need. Shh. But they asked.
Your princess ship?
Right, and by that I mean, let me kindly introduce a captain of the Foresters, this being Victor Toussaint. He's a great, courageous man that helped to lead this effort to free you all, and he's totally knowledgeable about whatever arrangements was made.
I lean over to Malagar. Isn't it rude to use a princess to introduce somebody in human customs?
Not if you have a princess.
Use a princess? I mean, I think it depends on the laws of etiquette, really. The rules of etiquette laws.
At this point in time, the gnolls, there's probably 7 or 8 of them, are just kind of looking at you like slightly confused terriers.
Well, but here's the thing. As the female of the group, clearly I am the matriarch, and I am allowing Victor to speak.
I guess, but you're so short. Like
that means if I hit you, I'm going to hit you right in your big old floppy clitoris.
I mean,
so Victor will step forward.
Hewitt lands on
Insane.
Victor's shoulder to give him another good foot of height.
I appreciate that. It was our privilege to free you. We come here representing Aglarond. As you may know, Aglarond has been foes of Thay for a long time. So any blow we can strike against the Thayans is an opportunity we are loath to pass up.
Oh, you are human slaves of the elves, then.
What?
There's no slavery in Aglarond.
The gnoll looking at you blinks a couple of times in a gesture of obvious confusion.
I don't know what Thay's told you, but Aglarond is not like a different Thay with elves on top instead of necromancers. It's not a perfect place, but generally speaking, people can live their lives as long as they don't go around killing people and things like that. In fact, if you would like, we would. It is our understanding that while we did free you, if you were to stay here, the Thayans would probably mobilize and attempt to recapture you, which might fail, but would definitely result in a lot of bloodshed for you and your kind.
But not the good kinds.
We were planning on leaving, but there's been a vigorous discussion as to which direction we should go.
Well, it would be a long journey, but if you head south towards the mountains, you'll enter into the realm of the dwarves, and there they will offer you passage, and you will find another forester of Aglarond. That's what we are, and he will talk with you there, and we would like to basically offer you a place to live in Aglarond. It's
like that causes a lot of like wide eyes and ears pricked forward and exclamations in the gnoll language. The gnoll that's talking to you issues a sharp command in their own language and holds out a paw, and within a couple of breaths, a large map is deposited into it. She goes to the side of the house and spreads the map up on the house and says, "Show me."
I'll point. I assume the swamp is on the map.
The swamp is on the map. The mountains are map. Like the physical features are more or less accurate, but the names of the towns and they only have like the first maybe quarter of Aglarond, doesn't go very far into the country, are like really old archaic versions of the names, a couple hundred years old at least.
What is the map written? Is it like charcoal or like ink?
It is in ink, and it is labeled in a language that none of you speak.
Well, I can still identify the features, and I will indicate the place to the south of the swamp. This area here is very sparsely populated. It is the Thayans often encroach into Aglarond through the swamp, so it would be an area where you would still have to watch out for Thay, but the swamp is a barrier, so that they generally don't come in mass, and I don't believe they could easily attack your people. And
we could have this land?
Captain Perrin Alistara has given express commands.
Right?
That one's for you, Joe.
I mean,
this is never going to go poorly. Never.
I don't know if you would technically have the deed to the land, but you'd be allowed to live on it freely and hunt and grow things and live your lives. And in return, just by living there, you would provide an additional bulwark against Thay, which is to the benefit of Aglarond. And since once you get comfortable, since you are mighty warriors, Aglarond would probably want to enlist some of you in their armies under terms that you would negotiate at the time of what sort of units you'd want to join and money and things like that. But I think the first goal...
But not indentured servitude of all of our combat-capable adults.
No, it'd be strictly voluntary.
So, Paige, while this conversation is going on, I'm going to retrieve the atlas and get out an ink pen and quill and start updating their map on the wall.
Oh, okay.
I just can't handle how inaccurate it is. It's driving me crazy.
And obviously you're labeling it in which language?
I probably wouldn't label it. I would just be updating the terrain features, and I'd tell them the appropriate names, because I can't write the specific language. But I would offer the queen there the quill and kind of give her the correct names as well.
The gnoll kind of looks at the quill awkwardly in their hand and barks another series of commands. And within a few minutes, another gnoll comes forward and says, "I can label the map. Du Gvarchen Blackfleet?"
Well, here, if you want to write it here, I put it in a book. If you want to write it here, I'll transcribe it to the map.
No, I was just asking if you spoke the language of Thay.
No. Good lord, no.
All right. I am actually fluent and can write in Common and Thayan. So,
interesting. You and I will have to talk later. I have an interest in learning Thayan.
I would be pleased to teach you. It's the very least I can do.
Excellent.
Hey, Wildfire, you don't have that spell that lets you understand like every written language for like an hour or something, right? Do you?
I don't think so. No, I do actually. I lied. Ha ha!
You know,
That's not.
Just
It wouldn't let
saying.
me write it though, would it?
Yeah, I think if you tongues.
No,
we're
just
talking about
comprehend.
languages.
Oh,
We don't have 5th level spells yet.
oh yeah, sure.
As you are aware, we only drove off the Thayan wizardess. We did not defeat her. But if you move quickly enough, she might not have time to regroup.
No, the plan is to run as fast as we can. We're actually leaving some of our very young and very old behind, as well as a few who think they can do better here.
All right.
Wait, you didn't have like no baby Bjorns to carry them as you go?
We're carrying as many as we can.
Oh, right.
Well, when you get to the land of the dwarves, I'm sure they'll make themselves known and offer you modest hospitality. And there, someone named Sylvia will come to greet you, and he'll take care of you from there.
Silvio!
He's got you covered.
Silvio!
He
The
looks
gnoll rolls the word around in their mouth.
he looks like a satyr. I mean, he is a satyr. He probably, so don't eat him. He probably looks kind of.
There's kind of a Malagar and Ross recognize there's kind of a confused ear twitch there. No idea what a satyr is.
I'll be right back. Let me go arrange that. And I sending Sylvia to let him know what's up.
Malagar actually rummages around in his bag. Satyr. No, I have a whole volume. And he hands it over.
I mean, Ross is about to explain what a satyr is when you shout that. So
Malagar, how many
I
of them
will
are
let
safe
the
for work,
picture.
None of them.
But
None of
no,
them are safe.
Exactly zero.
satyrs
Oh.
themselves are inherently not satyr for work.
That's true.
I see what you did there, Andrew. You may have a point of inspiration. Sir.
Actually, Joe. So,
Ooh, speaking of which,
Well, then you both have a point of inspiration.
yay!
We won't be able to accompany you. We have urgent business in the Singing Sands.
There's a moment of confusion, and the translator that had come forward and is working on the map says something back to the gnoll, and then they start nodding.
We've actually never been there. We didn't know. We had heard that some gnolls had been there. I didn't know if you had anything of use you could tell us. We'd appreciate.
Yes, one of our scouts. A moment. They hold up a finger, and then more commands are yelled out. And behind this small group of the leadership that's talking to you, the camp is a flurry of activity. like everything's being packed up. You know, they're making their matzah bread before they hit the road. Like, they're getting ready to go.
No, you
Whenever
don't
pe-
have time to leaven it.
Right? 8 minutes. They only need 8 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Maxim because I had an amazing little typo there, but Maxim has knocked out the player inspiration with a 1 channel bit assist from Brother Flounder. Thank you, Brother Flounder, for making it official.
Every bit counts.
Bam.
Nice. Thank you very much, gents. So the whole camp is like a flurry of activity as all the gnolls are fixing the GTFO.
Yep.
Or a lot of them. There are a couple of squabbles like that actually come to blood in a couple of places. It appears that this is not universally loved by everyone, but certainly the vast majority. What was the question that you were asking them?
Any information on the Singing Sands?
Yes. So, and a scout comes forward, and the scout is actually on crutches, and one of their legs is severely swollen and inflamed and covered with bandages. And they come forward, and the matriarch makes noises at them. They make noises at the matriarch, and the matriarch says, the scout can tell you more. They don't speak your tongue, though. I'll have Udine there translate. In the meantime, I accept. They look at the other gnolls. We accept your generous offer, and we'll look for Silvio among the dwarves.
He will be prepared for your arrival.
They give a short nod, and that particular matriarch walks off. However, one of the other ones comes forward. Yeah. And this one has... they had all kind of been in rough shape, and this one has clearly taken some time to put fine clothes on and to put jewelry on, and is looking rather regal. And
Damn.
yes, and that is actually a Pathfinder gnoll, I think. I love them.
I mean, that is a no lot of woman.
you too, inspiration. And comes forward and says, "We owe you a great debt that we will never be able to repay. But I have a small thing that I can offer." They reach into a pouch and pull out 5 crude vials. They're clay. They're nicely made. It's just the materials aren't particularly good. These will help you with some of the creatures you would run into in Singing Sands. Also, I have talked to my peers, and we have decided to offer you the clan bond of Yinahu, if you choose to take it.
The who what?
Clan bond of Yinahu. The gnoll extends a hand forward, and you can see on the palm and through their fingers, and then on the backside of their left hand, there's an elaborate scroll work of lines and slightly raised scar tissue that are kind of a natural reddish color. I can explain to the Pack Lord that you have saved us and transfer some of our debt to her back to you. It will mean that she will send aid to you once, should you require it.
So I know that gnolls are a little different in Pageland. Is Yinahu also not like a murder, death god of blood?
Many human thank you, Ron. You get an inspiration point for asking the question. Many human cultures subscribe to Volathamp Gadarm's bass-ackward, racist, colonialist view of Yinu. Because that's what they've been told. Having said that, it is clear, and that is probably what Victor has been exposed to. It is clear that these folk revere Yinahu as some sort of clan protector, not a murder death machine.
I mean, you can protect, but also be a murder death machine to the people.
That is certainly true, but that is very against how Yinahu is presented in box stock Forgotten Realms.
I am not gonna lie, Paige. I thought you were saying Yinahood this whole time. So what is
Fair.
what is
Fair.
it exactly? You said it was like a tattoo?
It looks kind of like a tattoo, yes.
It's
I
an
mean,
opportunity for.
I looked down at my
Muslim
arm at
scale.
the collection of various like missing scales. Like I think I'm missing 2 scales. I've got a gym scale. I could get a tattoo on that same arm.
Sure.
Unfortunately,
I'm
I am not
willing to take this on as
giving
well.
a scale because I am not making them a promise at this
Right.
point.
Correct. They are making you a promise.
I don't do tattoos. Yeah.
I could probably if you can find some free real estate.
I can put the mark wherever you like it to be. It would be about that same size, though. They say
That's-
spreading a palm.
I think there's a spot on my left calf.
You know, they say like when you're going out and finding yourself, you end up doing all kinds of stuff and getting tattoos. Let's do it.
Something like that.
If this will aid us against the Thans, I will gladly accept.
The foe that you call up, that Yinahu will send to you, will be as nearly as powerful as yourself. But this can only be done once.
How do you measure the power of an individual?
By how many friends they have, obviously.
Usually by their position in the clan, how far below the matriarch they are, how Yinahu measures her different servants that work for her is a little more difficult. I wouldn't pretend to understand how she does this.
I mean, generally, I like to think of it in terms of how much experience a person has, how many things they've encountered in their life.
See, I was liking more the
I
idea.
just cleared my rings.
I like the idea more that because I'm right under the matriarchs of the kingdom, the queendom, then mine would be more powerful than yours, right?
Yes, thank you.
Well, I guess we'll be able to test it empirically.
All right.
I'm a fan.
So who wants to go first?
I'm
Woo,
here.
I will.
I'm in.
Oh, well, whoever.
I think Coda beat you on the draw by.
Aha. Also,
so,
I got a whole collection going here. Okay.
So, where do you tell the matriarch that you want this particular mark?
Oh, we're gonna put it right on the like wrist area, maybe on the upper arm.
Okay. So, they prepare the spot and they look at your scales, kind of puzzled, like,
Aha.
I've never done this on scaly kind before.
Just press harder, it's fine.
I suppose.
I can show you some of the techniques that my people use.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. Paige, I'm gonna go with a. Oh God, why is performance? Okay, I'm gonna go with a performance for my knowledge of
Artwork.
artwork.
I believe it.
That's your apex skill, right?
You do
It
have
is,
inspiration if you
sadly,
choose to use it.
True.
Not my apex skill. But I did get an 11, so I recall just slightly more than what everyone knows.
Sure. The gnoll listens patiently and kind of does this thing with her mouth, like you can tell they're thinking.
Just
Uh,
press harder, it's fine.
and then opens a pouch and then kind of gets a claw full of something black out of a little tin, and takes your arm and then starts sketching a mark into it, and it really burns. Like, it burns poison-like burns.
Like, I almost imagine that that's actually going to be applied under each individual scale.
Yup.
It's got to go on the skin.
Ugh. This is fun.
And it leaves a swirl of black marks on your scales. It actually discolors the scales, and you can feel it burn like fire for a moment, and then cauterize, and doesn't feel anything unless you start considering it a little bit. And then if you start focusing on that particular body part and thinking about what it feels like, there's sort of a wildness to it, a sense of untamed power.
I mean, that is unfortunate since that arm literally bears the weight of all my promises, so... Yay!
Literally.
And the gnoll will be happy to repeat that measure on anyone who's interested. Belwyn's going next.
Yes.
So when they try it on Belwyn, exciting things happen.
Ooh, exciting.
Yes. Your paladin aura reads this as an attack.
Oh my.
And the gnoll is like trying to push through the aura to get at your skin, and is kind of like looking at you like, you stop.
What? Come on, I thought you were good at this.
Your personal link to whatever you are a warlock of seems to be fighting me.
Well, I mean, you know, it's just an extra. It's not like I'm. Wait a minute, this isn't some kind of weird pact thing, is it? Like, because I fell for that before once or twice.
They called it a clan bond.
Okay, that's probably fine.
All right, so it takes them a moment to do so, and the mark is left on your skin, and you can feel not only a sense of untamed wildness, but kind of evil there too.
Oh, all right,
Paige.
well, you know.
To celebrate this occasion,
I celebrated a lot
Chat.
of equations today.
Chat has given you a DM inspiration.
More pain.
She's gonna crit whoever she tattoos next.
Right? Malaga will step up and
So Malagar, you're a cleric of Sune.
yes.
Sune is neutral good.
Something I didn't really check before I sent I sent my money off for the correspondence.
Yes, I'm nearly certain she's neutral good. So again, the gnoll says that whatever being you're a warlock of, he's fighting the influence, but soldiers through.
Licensed cleric. I don't know why they didn't actually check to see what alignment I was, but you know.
I mean, chat is saying that Sune is chaotic good.
Oh, chaotic good. Okay.
Thank you, Brother Flounder.
Correct.
It the good part was the part that was interesting, or at least up for debate. And who else wanted one? Victor was going to get one.
I mean, I've already got a number of infernal tattoos. So.
I'll take up rear guard as per usual, assuming Wildfire is going to abstain.
No tattoos for me, man.
All right, good stuff. I just want to write that down. Not that it'll ever come up.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
No comeuppance.
Malagar, Elwyn.
So,
and
Paige, while you're writing that out, it's not the actual regal gnoll that's tattooing us, is it?
Mhm.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Just put it in there with the other Knoll tattoos.
That's how you make bank in Knoll Society. Be a good
Now-
tattoo artist.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, Paige, I am now officially consider myself well versed in Knollish society. Does she seem like an equivalent to my tribe's shamans?
Oh, very much so.
Okay.
Very much so.
Okay. I stand by her and watch this entire process with extreme interest.
All right.
Just to be clear, Ross, I'm not going to let you tattoo me.
He's
Wait.
learning though.
He's not going to tattoo you. He's just going to make you a jockstrap.
He's already made, I think, all of us multiple jock straps.
I have, but these are going to be in the gnollish fashion, you see.
That's right.
Oh,
You got a new motif.
Oh, Lord. Alrighty. Also, other gnolls come forward. Victor, they notice your bow, and they hand you a very finely made bow. It is actually a Rashemi long bow.
I'll give it a few test pulls and be grateful.
Sure.
Adding another bow to the quiver of bows is always.
And is there anybody who is not in metal armor here?
Actually, technically,
I am in metal armor, but you can't see it because it's under my
Sure.
clothes.
Fair enough.
Same here.
Okay.
I was not in metal armor for the actual raid.
Fair. So they.
I don't actually remember. I remember we had a discussion about that.
We ended up being able to put our armor on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they come to both Wildfire and Malagar and offer very finely made sets of leather armor or hide armor, if you prefer.
Very nice. These pants are superb.
Yes,
No, thank you.
There has to be some tailoring to get them of the appropriate length. And the legs are a little weird because, like I said, they're digitigrade legs, not. What are normal legs called? Not normal legs.
Malagar also dresses left.
Gnolls are. They manage to find anything you need.
Excellent.
Victor, the bow is not magical, but it is masterwork. And in this game, that means it has +1 to hit.
+1 to hit. I'll have to make sure not to drop that one on the ground.
I mean, yes.
Brother Flounder reminds us the correct term is plantigrade.
Plantigrade. There you go. Brother Flounder, you, inspiration in your next D&D game. You tell the DM I said so.
It's real easy to impress Paige. Just roll up in here and drop some biology vocabulary.
Especially the ones that I forget.
The upside is you also have this recording to show your DM.
Right.
Shit
Yes,
certified.
it absolutely works as DM inspiration as well.
I feel like we might need to just put together a little certificate people can print out.
I like it.
That's a good point. Remind me to do that.
Guys, first T-shirt, obviously.
Malagar, you take the leather armor.
Yes.
All right.
I
it
mean,
is actually +2 leather.
oh my.
Ooh.
You can never have too much leather armor.
All right. And you had also found a small trove of potions in Thazar Shira's house.
Yarp.
Yep,
Chat.
I've been spending some time identifying them while all this gift giving have been done to all of my companions.
This
Great.
fodderall.
Another potion of growth? Maybe this time Wildfire will actually
Let you have it.
deem fit to let me have it.
I have 2 of them now. I'm hoping they'll multiply if I leave them both in the bag of holding.
I am changing some things about box stock Forgotten Realms, but potions are not coat hangers. They do not multiply when left alone in the dark.
Oh, that's right, Joe. You have to add water too.
Ah.
All right.
No, doesn't work either.
You gotta feed them after midnight is the way it works. Feed them after midnight.
So, Paige, as this gnollish royalty is finishing up the tattoos, Ross would like to pull her aside and ask her a couple of questions. I am on a journey from my tribe shaman. He has sent me on a quest to commune with powerful spirits of the earth, fire, water, and air. You wouldn't know of any in this area that I might be able to find.
We do not hold truck with the elemental spirits. I could, however, give you the gift of communing with the spirit of the hunt.
I would be honored.
This will take a bit.
You might get leavened bread instead.
Yeah. They leave for a moment and have a hurried conference with several of the other gnoll leaders, and come back and say, "We will give you this communion. We don't have time for the full ritual, but I will do this." And they hold forward one long clawed finger towards your forehead.
I wait patiently for it to come ever closer.
All right, it taps you on the forehead, you feel the tap on your forehead, and the gnoll says, "At the next new moon, on that night of the first new moon, you will commune with the spirit of the hunt."
Excellent. I'm quickly racking my brain for what I know about the moon phase.
The first night of the new moon will be in 5 days.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to make a note to myself. That's exciting.
You should count that down.
I am honored.
Paige, I'm going to arrange for transportation of my library back to Aglarond with these gnolls.
Okay, so that involves a lot of confused gnoll faces. But Udine, the translator, immediately takes up your cause.
Excellent.
And manages to start convincing gnolls that, yes, we saved you, therefore the books have to... Like, the books? Really? What is he gonna do with the
How many gnoll children are they going to leave behind?
Right.
Yeah, to
In
take
exchange.
None. Because
Oh,
children
okay.
get prioritized higher than books.
But they're already leaving children behind so they can carry more bread.
Well, there's arguments currently about the 2 wagons that are in camp and how they're going to pull them, and like it's a whole thing. There's a lot of angry, hyper focused, hyper alert gnolls getting ready to launch.
See, this is why you should have a completely oral history like the lizard folk.
Or the gnolls.
That scout was going to give us some.
Right. So while this is all going around, the scout comes over, and they are actually using crutches because one of their legs is all swollen up and bandaged and whatever. And the scout speaks not a word of common. So Udine, the translator, comes over and we work through them to learn what happened. The scout says that they were bitten by a terrible snake. The Singing Sands are full of various kinds of scaly kind life. And after more noise is passed back and forth. And the scout says that some of the ruins around there don't seem to be as abandoned as we thought. There are rumors persistently of a lost city of snake people there.
Oh.
They have a reputation as fearsome warriors and powerful healers. I had thought their civilization was struck down lifetimes ago, but perhaps some pockets of it still exist.
They have very fine hats.
There's a conversation, and they say they don't know anything about hats.
Ah, that's too bad. I thought maybe they had Yonti chapeaus. But hey, can I see the scout's leg a minute?
Oh, you're awful. terrible.
I'm
You already
terrible.
You already have
terrible.
inspiration too,
I do,
don't
but
you?
somebody in the party doesn't have it, and I'm going to pass it to them.
I don't know who doesn't have it.
I don't, but I'll take it.
Bam! Take my dirty inspiration.
I will.
All right.
I'm not going to feel good about it.
Oh, I can't make you like it, but I can make you take it.
Let's
Wow!
So podcast canceled, everyone.
Right?
Had a great
God.
time.
Yeah.
I'm giving you advantage. However, I'm gonna put 5 points delay on hands on the scout's leg if
Okay.
consent occurs.
Yeah, the scout opens up the bandages, and there is a super hideous snake bite on their leg. Like the fang marks are that far apart.
Ew.
So calculating backwards, carry the 3. That is 1 honkin' snake.
That's good, because as soon as you said calculated, I was about to remind you my intelligence score is not actually
Right.
right.
I've been writing a dissertation about shark lifespan today, so I'm all about measuring animals. And the scout says, "Thank you very much. Obviously, the bite had been troubling them terribly, and they say that many of the shade rocks have vipers in them during the day.
Oh, great.
Also, the scout says, do not sleep on the ground at night, because the spiders will try and get in your sleeping bag."
So what
Fun.
the fuck are you supposed to sleep?
Glad I learned to levitate yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Paige, I will question him to see if like a tiny hut would stop that or not.
Oh, a tiny hut would totally stop it.
Okay, cool.
But not too tiny of a hut. Maybe like a medium-sized hut.
Job of the hut. Something.
Okay, so Ross sleeps outside. Everybody else is sleeping in a tiny hut, is what I'm hearing.
It's fine. I can sleep. I've no problem sleeping outside. I've done it my whole life.
The spiders, Ross. He just told us about the spiders.
But
I'm
Ross
not
can
afraid
sleep
of
on top
spiders.
of the hut.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Plus, Ross is going to be so cold anyway that the spiders won't be able to recognize Ross as anything but,
A rock.
another rock out there.
Right,
Yeah.
Ross will definitely die if left outside of the tiny hut for anything. But
Yeah,
you know, it's
he'll
fine.
go into stasis.
Right. It'll be a little bit of cold shock. Paralysis might be involved. It's fine.
So do we just pour water on him in the morning to get him going again? Is that the way that works?
No, you need to leave him out in the sun.
Crack him
Solar
out of his-
powered.
Oh, he's solar powered.
Oh, like
Everybody-
Superman. I get it.
Everybody,
Like-
Wildfire made breakfast. Boiled Ross.
Delicious.
Just
I imagine-
put him in the pot. He'll be fine.
And when you order it, you get to keep the claw. That's how that works.
Ooh.
Served in a claw, holding up a bowl. It's beautiful.
Yes. The loincloth is complimentary.
I thought it was the collectible loincloth you get with every purchase.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Collect
Clearly.
all 12
Clearly.
loincloths
Collect all
Right.
12.
to regret collecting loincloths.
Yes. So the scout also, when you start talking about the details of how you move through the desert, the scout suggests that you start moving in pre-dawn, move till just before midday, and then rest in the shade from midday till just before sunset, and then move from sunset to sometime after dinner time.
Excellent.
Oh, this sounds like that trip I took on the Black Road.
That Bethesda module, right?
That's right. That's
That was
right.
a really good one.
Really, really good.
Yes. And gives you various survival tips about how to get along in the desert.
Well, great.
Also, they say that the serpent people don't like the folk of Thay one bit.
Oh,
Interesting.
well, great. We'll just tell them that we're here to fuck them up. Them being the Thans, not the snake folk.
Snake
Serpent folk.
serpent.
All right. Well, want to make sure we use the right language.
And as you notice, the number of gnolls surrounding you is starting to drop.
Sure.
What time of day is it as we finish all of this?
So it was after sunset when you attacked the house. So this has got to be up near midnight at this point.
Well, Victor, what is your plan for the evening? Do we make our way towards the Singing Sands and rest nearby, or do we travel through the night?
I feel like we should get some distance from this wizard tower here.
Yeah.
It is rather a large smoking signal fire at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it couldn't burn.
The exterior is not particularly flammable, but the interior is full of many flammable things.
Ah!
I should start working from the inside out.
I was about to say, I can
Soon
tell.
I'll know dimensional door. Soon. not really.
Just for arson
I was
purposes.
about to say, as an EK, you're going to be waiting on that in a while, brother.
No, it's fine. I'll just get a cape to the Moontabunk.
That will also work.
It's fine. You can dim door, but only fire.
I'm down. Where do I sign up?
I was about to say, this is a feature for Wildfire.
Amazing.
Fire dim doors? I'm in.
That would be pretty cool.
Doors?
That would be pretty cool. Like Tree Stride, but with fires.
Ooh.
I guess we'll head off then.
Okay. You head directly. Oh my god, map. Let's go look at the map.
Let's go look at the map.
Map.
To the map.
Dun, 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 dun.
Man,
right.
we're traveling by map?
Yes.
Always.
So you travel from approximately here. You need to go directly
You're not
west.
actually drawing. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Take that.
You need to head directly west.
keep
That's
going
where you
over.
came up into the desert, and then that is Singing Sand. So you need to head pretty much due west.
Now, we have an object that is pointing directly at our target. Is that correct?
No,
It doesn't. It hasn't activated yet. It has to be closer to activate.
Yep,
Okay.
it has to be within the Singing Sands.
and it's attuned to, I think, Fey magic,
Got it.
rather, which includes our target, but is obviously there's other Fey magic in the world.
Right.
Yep.
But
All right.
Good thing we ditched Silvio. The damn thing just kept pointing at him.
Our compass just constantly points at Silvio, and we're all just like, shit.
And Silvio's like, yeah, it's a stunt finder. Like,
I
tell
think
me
we can-
Silvio wouldn't say that.
I think we can all agree that's how we all imagine Silvio would react to that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every
Pretty much.
time.
All right, so you start heading due west into the nighttime desert, or into the nighttime savanna. And as you go, the grass. Did I take you with me? I don't think I did. Nope. And as you go, the grass becomes more and more sparse. And you can see like the mountains of Aglarond are just a dim smudge on the horizon in the distance. I should have gotten nighttime desert pictures, but
Paige, how
I didn't know when you were going to
cold,
leave.
how cold am I getting?
It's like in the 50s at night,
Okay.
so pretty damn cold.
So enough to literally kill Coda.
Yes,
Yes.
Ross is actually more temperature tolerant than Coda.
Yeah.
A little bit.
We kind of
Not by
roleplay
much.
our fantasies and heroes. So.
Right. So like the caves were like 60s, and that was
Mhm.
uncomfortable, and this is like low 50s at night, maybe even high 40s. So very unhappy Ross.
Yes.
Paige, during that whole long conversation
Mhm.
we had, Belwyn will have summoned her mount back up. Old
All right.
Grumpy Pants.
Old Grumpy Pants is back and looking grumpier than ever.
Ah!
Malaga is going to make some attempt to cover our tracks as we head out into this desert from the tower.
How are you doing that?
I mean, he still has some skills in sort of a survival realm.
All right, make me some survival checks, sir.
I push the button.
I'm excited.
And
Touch of the fishy.
Ooh, touch of the fishy. All right, you
Right.
think you do a reasonable job of obscuring your tracks, including walking on sand that is or stony areas where you won't leave tracks, as well as covering your tracks in.
I remember a few things from being a ranger.
Do we go single file to hide our numbers?
Yes, yes, we do.
And we
So,
all
Paige, once we stop, I'll put up a tiny hut for us to rest in.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right. The tiny hut is comfortable. I don't think you can put a fire in it.
Yeah, but you don't need to. It's comfortable and dry inside.
Yeah, but if you want warm food for dinner.
we can put a fire right outside.
Yeah.
That's true.
And did I take you with me?
Though
Again?
we might not want to light a fire tonight.
Fair. I'm just going to leave the fire picture because it's a nice thing to have it.
Sure, sure. But I don't think tonight, though, we will be lighting a fire.
Okay.
Don't get us, undead horde.
We're right here!
It's fine. Everyone's resting. Everyone except for third watch wakes up to a fire and fresh cooked bacon and
You fool of a toque!
Can't we just cook the bacon on wildfire?
I mean, I don't see why
Ooh.
not.
I mean,
that's
yeah.
thinking with portals.
Does
It's true,
your
I can
hair actually produce heat?
It does, if I
Excellent.
wanted to. So I'll just lay down and you guys can just cook on my head.
All right, breakfast on wildfire.
that's not strange at all.
Maybe we'll
I
keep
mean-
that strat in our back pocket.
this is.
I
always.
gotta strip naked to make it work correctly, though.
Oh,
You know what,
Oh
though?
no! Anything but that.
Does
getting
that mean-
better and better.
Do you mean naked or just wearing a loincloth?
Ooh. I mean, like, the game only goes down to rendering in loincloths. It can't go past that, so...
Yeah,
Fair.
and
Not without
Joe.
mods.
And Joe.
And all the loincloths are branded, I'll have you know.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
So, you are camped in the desert at night
100%.
in a Lehman's tiny hut.
Yep.
Well, most of us are in the tiny hut.
I'm on top of the Lehman's tiny hut.
No, I was referring to our estimable grumpy pants.
yes.
true.
Why can't he come in?
Because
He's too big.
he's too big.
Oh,
Don't worry, he can sleep on top of me to keep me nice and warm.
I was
Yeah.
about to say goats are pretty snuggly. Like,
Don't
you
worry.
could do a lot worse for a bed.
there's an important question though: is what color is our dome?
Ooh.
You get to
Like
choose.
fire engine red with like the flaming racing stripes all around it.
Yes!
It's a really odd pattern that, when looked at from directly above, says "We are here."
And it's this white and black pattern. It's very chic. Very
X
chic.
marks the spot.
Brother Flounder says "Taupe."
There you go.
That'd probably be a good choice if we want to avoid detection.
How daring!
Wait. Avoid detection.
So, all night long, you are treated to a kind of a little scratching noise, just a tiny scratching noise on the edges of your tent, as a variety of scorpions, spiders, salpugids, small snakes, desert mice, all engage in a murder orgy outside of your tent.
Yep.
Just like any desert at night, and a fair few of them try to dig into the tent.
Well,
There are particularly spiders that are rather large and kind of a light brown color and quite hairy that are particularly determined to get in.
they
So
run right up against the force fields.
Yep,
Mhm.
If
little Chelicera going like this.
if 1,000 level 0 or like level quarter CR creatures all deal with that 1 damage each, will the tiny hut survive?
Yeah, because it doesn't take damage.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
Until one of them gets dispel magic, you're good.
Right, then we're fucked. So
Yes. Like,
All hail the mighty field or desert mouse! Dispel! That was my only spell for the day. I'm gonna go sleep now.
eat,
So-
my children, eat.
So do you set watches, or you're just going to let Ross freeze up on top and assume that he's on watch?
We'll keep.
I mean,
our
I
normal,
definitely am on watch. It's way too cold to sleep.
We'll do our normal watches, and
Yep.
I don't think Ross is actually outside, despite our drinking.
He is
around.
not.
Yeah, the temperature inside the Lehman's hut is, Joe?
Comfortable.
It's comfortable.
Dry.
It is, quote, comfortable.
I think what is comfortable for Belwyn and what is comfortable for
No,
Ross
it's really
are
great.
two different-
It
There
is,
is
quote,
one corner that is
comfortable.
perfect temperature
Okay,
for
If
you.
fair.
only there was magic.
If
Fair
only.
enough. Fair enough. It is not one temperature. It has patches of variable temperature.
We all
Ross
have
steps inside, he's like-
individual.
It's like, oh, this is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's for each of us. It is room temperature.
We don't have to fight over the thermostat in Lehman's tiny hut.
Right.
That is
I
why
wish-
it's so
I
fucking
wish
magical.
I could have Lehman's tiny office thermostat system. Not that I've been in the office in over a year, but
Yeah.
I feel like we've all underestimated the true strength of Lehman's tiny hut.
I
yeah,
mean,
that's true.
this is the real feature.
How many arguments it is prevented, how many parties it is saved.
Right? Because if you got to camp with somebody every night for just days and days and days on end, and they like it at 62 degrees at night, and you like it at 85 degrees at night, there's going to be bloodshed.
Paige,
Mhm.
first thing I do on my shift of watch is go and turn up the thermostat.
Yep.
It's like hot yoga in here.
Yeah.
So, Paige, in the morning, assuming the evening passes without incident,
It does.
I will take some time and finally, now that we have kind of a break, and examine this strange amulet we found.
All right. Let me go to morning. Okay.
This gonna be good.
So how in what way are you attuning to it? Are you?
I'm not ready to attune to something that we found sitting alongside a demon. But I do have detect magic,
I
and
had to ask. It was going to be fun.
I do have detect magic. I have identify.
I
I've
do
got
have
Belwyn's finger.
I have a question. We found metal linguini as part of our stuff that we found from the tower. Could you also see if that is magical, and if so, what?
No.
Sure.
Yeah. The metal linguini was in the tower, right?
Sure, I will also
Little
identify
tiny-
it.
Okay. So the metal linguini with the tiny runes on it, you believe is dimensional shackles.
Ooh.
Good to have.
Quite useful.
Yeah, so I'll certainly start there, and then I'll move on to the amulet.
Okay. So, how do you think this spell works?
How do I emotionally think this spell
No,
works?
no, no. I've got,
Great.
that was the
Awesome.
preface to a couple questions. So, would it give you the name of an item if that item has a unique name?
It's
you just
Probably
learned
not.
what it
That
does.
feels more legend lore-y to me.
It does, does to me as well.
That feels more legend lore to me. I think, so what identify literally says, if it's magic or some other magically imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires an attunement to use them and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether one of these spells are affecting the item, what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it, right? So it's probably, like, most of those don't account in this specific instance.
Mhm.
But I think, between some detect magic and some identify and some of my own arcane knowledge,
Mhm.
I want to try to get a feel for what this thing might potentially do.
So you get a sense of very deep magic from this thing.
Okay.
Most of it evocation, but also abjuration as well. And you sense that most of its magical power currently is dormant, slumbering,
Okay. Sure.
and will require some sort of thing to activate it.
Okay.
In its current form, it adds +1 to your spell save DC and +1 to hit with spell attacks for fire-based spells.
Okay.
Once a day, you can use a bonus action to activate an aura for 1 minute. It doubles your walking speed, and any creature that makes an opportunity attack against you does so with disadvantage.
Interesting.
It does not require attunement at this point, but might down the road.
Sure. Interesting.
The first fire spell's free.
Yep.
What? Who else is on watch with me? Is
Let's go see what our watches are. I wrote this down so I wouldn't have to remember it.
Could be Malagar, I think, if I remember correctly. Since I only have to be up for, or be trancing for 4 hours.
Sure, I think Malagar was with me.
So it's Belwyn and Ross on first watch,
Mm-hmm.
Victor and Malagar on second watch, and Wildfire and Malagar on third watch.
There you go.
Is that everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mhm.
Yes.
Why do we always have to have the early morning trance sessions? I don't understand.
Malagar, do you have any kind of ability to like detect evil or anything like that? What did you learn in your correspondence school in relation to evil?
It's great, and I enjoy it.
You're into evil?
Yes.
Saluni classically is not an evil god.
We came to an understanding. I mean, I think she's sort of chaotic good, and I'm, complicated.
Fair. Very
Well,
fair.
I'm examining this strange amulet we found, and like it seems like a lot of its magic is kind of locked inside of it, and I'm interested in using it, but I'm somewhat worried that it might have
Evil.
evil. Yes,
I can handle it. Let me have a look.
I hand it over.
How can I figure out if this thing is evil or not?
What kind of magic you got, brah?
Oops.
Try and use it to murder your friend and see if it approves.
That's
Ah.
true. Stab.
Ah!
Oh, well, now we know. I don't think I have like any kind of alignment related section on me. What spell would be appropriate for that?
Protection from evil and good might give you some idea in an ex post facto sort of sense.
Yeah.
But detect evil is no longer really a thing.
Right. That's
True.
why I'm kind of like,
I was just wondering.
if I mean, like, blessing a thing doesn't really do things. I also have a tiny hut. Who even knew?
Ask your god.
Ah, yes. Excuse me. Malagar will kind of make the appropriate gestures to the sky that they seem to indicate were appropriate. I have a question about this, and he'll sort of wave the amulet.
Malagar gets out a set of note cards. Nope.
Nope.
Ah, here we go.
So
He just shrugs at it and waves the thing in the air, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Connecting to your deity's support chat.
Where's the damn Wi-Fi in here? I don't.
Right?
That's the problem with the hut. No Wi-Fi.
Ah, that is
otherwise
true.
it'd be perfect.
Maybe
That
the
is
level
true.
5 version.
Yeah, if you
is
upcast
true.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you
Ah.
have Warden Carnon's magnificent mansion to have Wi-Fi.
Right.
Yeah.
And it has
So-
perfect Wi-Fi in every single particle of space in there.
I think the deity tech support is currently being played by Old Sotager and is suggesting turn it off and turn it back on again.
That's a good idea.
So, is this like the somatic component to what? Augury or When you say ask your god about it,
Perhaps like a divination?
Paige, he is literally yelling into the infinite abyss. What more do you want?
I mean, that's what I figured, but I just
Local
thought I'd
drow
ask.
shouts at cloud. Kind of what it comes down to. Augury, sure. Do I even have augury? I probably
You
do.
have augury. You also have a divination.
There's just divination. I do have.
Divination is like it's a 4th level spell.
Oh, I'm totally
I-
looking at the wrong ones.
Can be cast ritually.
Okay, we'll do that then. I will attempt to divine what the hell's up with this thing.
All right. Those are divination spells.
And it gets to reply with a short phrase, cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
Ugh, the rhymes
Yeah,
are the
have fun with
worst.
that, Paige.
Woo!
Now I need a fight.
I demand a limerick.
A dirty limerick.
Only dirty limericks.
What
Dirtiest.
what sacrificial offering appropriate to your religion, worth at least 25 GP, do you offer that the spell will consume?
Clearly, 2 finely crafted loincloths.
Yes, I think Sune would be very pleased by
Wait,
that.
wait.
It's going to have to be a lot more
wait.
than 2 if you're going to get to 25 gold.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Whoa! Wow!
Whoa!
First
We're
off,
coming
me.
from the left and the right tonight.
Brutal.
First off, why does it have to be my loincloths that you set on fire as a sacrifice? Second of all, Paige, ouch.
All right.
Ross, it's a holy offering, Ross. This is important.
So offer up one of your dirty books.
I guess. But listen, if you just write me a receipt that says these 2 cost 25 gold, everything will be okay.
Did you say 25 gold?
Yes.
So Coda.
Well,
just for
that's a horse of a different color.
Coda, just for reference, fine clothing from the PHB
No, Paige, I
whole
don't
suit
need
of
your
clothing.
nonsense. I'm now 25 gold richer.
is 15 gold pieces. You don't have enough loincloths to get to 25 GP, sir.
What? No. Like, so fine clothing, like, anybody can get fine clothing, though. These are
Ross
handcrafted,
originals.
one of a kinds,
Fucking
locally sourced.
no.
Listen,
Fucking no.
listen
No.
Sune really wants a good banana hammock for her.
It's really up to Sune.
Yes.
I don't know why Paige is.
I don't know why any of you. I'm walking away with my receipt that says I'm owed $25.
That is just fine. The spell doesn't go off.
Oh,
Didn't know she was so picky.
maybe it's the season.
The season?
Like some seasons she wants loincloths, other seasons she's more into. Maybe give her a quart of kiln dried firewood.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, what about? I mean, I could also add these etchings on top of that. I mean, that's something that usually fetches a good price in certain markets.
I like how you're functionally bargaining with your god. You're like, what about this?
Listen, I mean, I feel like killing an animal for Sune is really sort of against her whole vibe, really.
What if I sweeten the pot?
Is this how all elvish clerical duties are performed?
Mine. That's how mine are performed.
Ah, I see. Remind me not to have you invoke spells in battle.
It's always complicated. All right, listen, I'll add.
It's on his firefly butt, and then
Yes, I'm going to add these etchings and one of my second favorite sex toy onto this burnt offering here. I think in total this should represent about 25 gold worth of offering, and is all sufficiently sensual. I mean, we could add some of this massage oil here. I'll just sort of add a drizzle, and the flames will flare. This smells marvelous. I'm getting a lot of refusal here.
Chef's kiss.
I'm probably like a silver short.
25 gold pieces mysteriously evaporate from your belongings.
Oh, could I have done this Could I have done this via mobile pay?
Oh.
You don't have.
And this, dear watchers, is how an entire gritty 80s vampire spy campaign got killed. This right here. What's going on right here?
Pretty
Nope.
Gelato.
That had 100% more gelato. I agree with Ben on this one. So anyway,
It says here I just double tap the amulet and it's automatically deducted from my account.
You gotta step outside the tiny hut though to get signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. Hit me.
Well, my question's more specific. Is this amulet, like the whole demonic one, of an evil? What do you need? This side, that side. Is it of an evil nature, or otherwise imbued with, ungood?
You could ask if Wildfire would regret using it for the next 7 days.
Oh, that's also a good one. Yes, would harm come to Wildfire as, either in the short or long term as a result of his use of it?
Yeah, he needs his soul for sure.
The support chat has kind of the ... as the
Yes.
They're clearly typing.
Loading.
Clearly
Please
typing.
wait.
loading. Yes,
Just gotta
am I
wait,
talking
they're
to a
typing.
real Sune support person, or is this another bot?
You gotta go through at least a couple layers of bots before you actually get to
True.
tier 2 tech support.
Try hitting 0.
your Sune tech support has asked if you could just put this Wildfire person directly on the line.
Yeah, you want to just talk directly to whomever it is we're connecting in the Sune organization. You just chat to that cloud.
Okay. Hello, Cloud.
Everything's in the cloud with Sune.
All right.
Wait, is this Azure Cloud? Because I'm not down for that.
Okay. So, are you doing this? You're doing this in the morning.
I'm just glad it's not on Silver Pop anymore.
Yes. A Silverlight. Yeah.
Right, Silver Pop. What do I know about these things?
So Sune answers, a tool is a tool, no, but also yes, and it uses the fool, but also can bless. Coda, I couldn't come up with a limerick. You got a rhyming couplet, like, fuck you, that's the best I got.
I mean, no, I feel like it just called Wildfire a tool.
Totally did.
Seems pretty accurate.
Brother Flounder asks for the limerick, or for the rhyming couplet again.
Yes, I will just put it directly into Twitch chat.
A tool is a tool, no, but also yes. And it uses the fool, but can also bless. So it sounds like kind of a mixed bag, would you say?
No, you need to say it with more middle finger in that second line.
Which this? Oh, no, but also no,
but also
yes. Oh, hang on, I need to fill out the survey.
Wait a minute. What kind of survey? What do you give for something like that? Like, is that a 3 or is it a 5? Or like, can you really answer the question?
No, the survey,
I mean, it wasn't a limerick, so they can't get a 10. I mean
the survey's
only
not
limericks are
quantitative.
10.
It is the survey itself requires a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen in the survey.
I have to think about that one. But Sune is nothing if not customer service oriented. Service.
So, Joe, did you get the qualities, or do I need to?
I did. Would that bonus for fire spell stack with my current spell Grimoire?
Yes.
Ooh.
Soon, you will become an unstoppable force.
Okay. I will consider that option. All right.
Okay. That was fun. Now what?
I think we start walking in the desert.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, I need a 2-hour notice the next time you want to do a divination.
In game or out of game or both?
Yes.
all of it.
Yes. Any divination request must be filed by 750.
Must be filled out a triplicate before the show.
Wildfire will have the paperwork for you.
Listen,
Not a
as DM, you are free to run the Sune organization however you like.
No, apparently it is run with a highly effective support team. Their surveys say it right there.
Kurgosh has a heck of a point that we don't think Andrew knew 2 hours ago that he could even do divination.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Kurgosh, you also get a point of inspiration in your next D&D game.
You know what's really
To be
weird
fair,
though?
that was my plan 2 hours ago, so you can blame that one on me.
You know what's really
Because
weird
I
though?
knew Andrew knew how to cast divination.
It says right here on my character sheet that I can cast divination. Who knew?
Fascinating.
All right, but our walk through the desert.
Yes.
Walk through the desert. All right. So, as you are walking through the desert, you notice that the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. And the wind is starting to pick up a little bit, and the dune tops are starting to kind of fly away in the wind. And Ross and Malagar, you see something overhead and kind of off in the distance coming this way at a fair clip. And when I say overhead, I mean like at 20,000 feet.
Like flying. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna draw out my javelins and I'm gonna stop everybody. Look, on the horizon, something is approaching.
Does she agree with him?
So
Yes.
shite. If it's another giant castle,
Oh.
son of a bitch!
Yes.
Every fucking time I'm in the desert.
What
Mala-
is that?
Malagar will shift his eye patch to the other eye and then peer at this thing.
It looks like a castle on top of a cloud at about, I don't know, 20 or 30,000 feet.
That
It
can't
is-
be good.
No, I
Roaring-
wasn't asking Paige the DM what is that. I was asking wildfire.
Yeah, you notice like Wildfire's hair is going like to the side like this.
Sure.
Man, and here we are walking like
It's
chump.
turning. It's like glowing like blue. It's so hot because of the wind. So Paige, what do I know about giant floating castles of things?
Make
What kind
me
of role
a,
would that be?
you could history, arcana,
I rolled you both things.
Yeah. From a historical perspective, looking at the architecture as well as the pennants that are snapping in the wind, you think it is probably a cloud giant castle. From a historical perspective, the entirety of the Forgotten Realms used to be a giantish empire right after it was a draconic empire, right before it was a dwarven empire. And my winds have died down, which they actually don't. Yes.
Oh wait, did we break your wind?
Why is it always gas jokes with you, Pumba? So they were an ancient empire. They had been there's been some sort of giant upset recently, and the caste order of giants has been certainly up for discussion. And because of that, there has been a rapid deployment of cloud castles all over the Forgotten Realms to different places all over the Forgotten Realms. Generally, they do not give a fuck about what small folk think, feel, or do.
Okay.
From an Arcana standpoint, a flying castle is an extremely powerful magical object.
Mm-hmm.
They can move at incredible speeds. And this one is coming kind of straight for you out of the east. Slightly north of east. Like, east-northeast.
You don't think it's a Thayan castle, do you?
I don't think so.
It is clearly proportioned for giants.
Well, but they could have, like, hijacked it.
They could have. Entirely true.
Then
I've
enchant-
known adventuring parties who have hijacked cloud giant castles.
then enchanted herself a cloud giant.
Are we close enough for the artifact to be activated?
I mean,
You can try.
I don't know. It's like several miles away, right?
Yeah. But the castle, the Singing Sands is several miles in front of you. Well, probably more like 10 or 15. But the Cloud Castle is probably like a mile away and covering up ground fast. And you can see under the Cloud Castle in the desert, there's this huge roiling sandstorm, which is where I actually downloaded Sandstorm where I was going to play, and then I realized that would get us a takedown on YouTube.
It
so I'm not
would.
It would.
Maybe we
Okay.
should, rather than playing with lanterns, we should do a more practical thing, like take shelter from the impending sandstorm.
I mean, do I spot any sort of shelter?
Make me a do I spot any sort of shelter check?
Well, if we have a minute, I think a certain spell
Yes.
reappear.
Could just get back into a tiny hut.
It's an
yeah.
11-minute casting
That's
time
as a
for
ritual,
ritual,
though.
but
That's as a ritual, yes. It's only-
Good thing I have it right on the top of my head.
Paige, I'm giving you a 15 perception.
actually it'd be survival.
Oh, okay. I'm giving you a 10 survival.
Uh,
I will also take a gander.
Victor,
Oh,
yes.
there we go.
So it's hard to see because even small dust particles are being lifted up in the air, so your field of vision is rapidly diminishing. But you can see the hazy shape of a fin of rocks ahead of you, probably 100 yards. So it'll be quite a run, but you can certainly get there.
Probably should just do the tiny hut.
Yes, we'll just find a dune to sit behind, and Malaga will sort of grab out a small crystal bead, throw it at the ground, and a tiny hut appears. It'll crawl right in.
You have a tiny hut.
Very nice.
Nice.
Does everybody go into the tiny hut?
Any time we have before the sandstorm hits, I think we should be digging. We could probably dig at least a shallow depression in the lee of the hut for Mr. Grumpy Pants, or you could probably dismiss him, whichever one you want.
I can dispose him.
Okay.
I do not want him to be more uncomfortable than he already is.
It's been a bad couple days.
You don't want to see a grumpy goat with sand in everything.
Everywhere.
He's used to being treated as the princess's primary, so constantly getting snacks from people, and now he's in the desert.
Yeah.
And he's kind of an older goat, so he was kind of in semi-retirement.
Yeah, and now he's like all magically empowered where he shows up and he's like, oh, this is the worst.
All right, so you all pile into the Liamon's tiny hut, and the howl of the winds gets louder and louder to the point where it is blocking out even your ability to think, practically.
I hope the
I'm fine
giant
with that.
doesn't look down and dispel us just for shits and giggles.
But within probably 20 minutes, the howl of the wind starts to notably diminish.
Oh, thank God.
And within about 40 minutes, it's very quiet. What color was your tiny hut?
Malaga.
Sand colored.
Yes, pick something. Malaga picked desert pink.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Okay.
I do like to think on the top of that one, though, there are words that say, like, they can suck it or something. Like, suck it, they.
I
Like
guess.
me. Sure.
But it's like one tone above desert pink, so you really can't see it unless you really look for it.
Mm-hmm.
In that
Ooh,
20 in that 20 minutes, though, Malaga was sort of had a pencil out and was working on the notepad.
Mm-hmm.
Were you about to say something, Ben? You look like you're about to say
Right,
something.
I was gonna say, do you have it worked into the pattern where if you like relax your eyes, you can see the thing? This is like one of those magic
Ooh,
eyes.
Yes.
Ah,
yes.
those man.
Blast from the past.
Where are those
so-
gone?
As the dome is transparent from the inside, you can see that the dome is entirely covered up with sand.
So, how do we get out of this?
We're trapped. We're gonna die.
Clearly,
We just focus.
this is it. I'm TPKing the campaign right here. All of you.
Sure. So, Paige, I will try to reach through the tiny hut and dig at some of the sand, because like the sand particles can't come through, right?
Sure.
Right.
But
So,
they,
what effect am I having on this sand?
I mean, you move it around, but it's sand, so more fills down on top of it.
I don't know if that is going to work, princess.
Look, I pull out a shovel, and I just start climbing out, and then I just start shoveling to get up to down. Like, it's gonna be a shit ton of work, but welcome to life.
All right, so you step outside of the tent, and you're immediately covered in sand, like sunk into sand.
Right, and I climb up,
Yes,
using the hut to help me climb up.
Sure. I will need some sort of.
No.
You're likely to snort a whole bunch of sand into your general face area.
Well, that's why I wrap cloth over it first.
Well, you need to put advantage then.
I was about to say, I've done this before.
Have you?
You've done this before.
This?
In a
literally
Leonard's tiny
said
hut?
I know.
The
What
time
do
that
you
I
do?
went through the fucking Black Road,
A likely story.
All right, come on, dice.
Wow.
17.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, you
Okay.
certainly
Bell
suffocate,
and snorts rocks for breakfast.
right?
Yes. So you manage to get up to the top, and of course, sand flows back down after you. And it is a whole goddamn thing that takes hours to get free and get all your stuff out of the Lehman's tiny hut. But there you go. You are once again out on the desert dunes.
Now that Malaga is back in signal range, he'll sort of pull out a slip of paper that he was scribbling things on while they were spending 20 minutes in the tent. And they'll say, "Oh, I've filled out the survey in also rhyming couplets, since apparently that's what you require. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
The boss wants a 5, and we wanted lore. But for this kind of jive, our rating must be 4.
Wow, Andrew, that was awesome.
That was beautiful, sir. That was beautiful. Everybody gets inspiration.
Hooray!
Hey!
That means Brother Flounder gets an inspiration.
Everybody in
The
the
Tiger
chat
gets an
Everybody in the
inspiration.
chat gets
A
inspiration.
Maxim.
Burgosh. Blonio. Everybody Blonio here tonight?
Everybody, look under your seat. There's an inspiration there.
Woo! I mean, we got Dan Goyette, we got Gelatinous Rube, we got
Oh.
Ice Wizards, we got
We got a bunch
Cherry
of people.
Dipper, we got C. Holden 14.
See, holy 14!
My
That's
inspiration
rude!
looks like bees. But I believe with several hours now lost, we continue onward.
Yeah. So the rest of the day goes by relatively uneventfully. Are you going to stop at midday for a while?
Yeah, we will follow the advice of the professional scout person.
Okay. No further saves are needed. And you get to a point where it's, after dinner. You start moving after your break and then go till it's about after dinner, and you have nothing particularly interesting, and you are allowed to camp for a second night.
Woo!
It's what we live for.
This time we can have a fire, right?
Yay!
Yeah.
Up to you.
Yeah, totally. Are we close enough, Paige, that I could activate the item?
There's only one way to find out.
I try to do it in the morning after camping.
Okay.
I intone the ritual that the witch taught me.
Sure. I need a number.
I mean, after 2 nights traveling from the gnolls, we've now passed the Dwarven tunnel exit.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it was about a day and a half journey.
Yep.
east.
So, as Malagar and Wildfire are on watch, and Hewitt, I suppose, as well. I should check something.
Seems ominous.
Oh no, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
What could go wrong?
Malagar, you have just a prickle on the back of your neck,
Oh boy.
and you see a flicker of motion coming out from under the sand.
How big? Malaga will get Wildfire's attention and point at. Oh dear.
What?
A
Look
map.
at this.
A filthy map.
You know what? I didn't know you were going to be using Tiny Hut because I hadn't seen it before, so I just put sleeping bags around a fire. We're going to ignore those for now and just assume there's a hut.
Yeah, I mean,
guess.
it almost works. It's a 10-foot radius, so it's...
We have so few other hut opportunities, so
Yes, so 10-foot radius, 20 feet across, right?
Yep. So we condense that a little bit.
10, 20, 10, 20. So
That
like
or
that.
Ross's claws are sticking out one side. It's fine.
No,
You don't
it's-
want to stick out. There's spiders, Ross.
Yeah, lots of spiders.
I like how Ron is keeping us honest about the spiders.
Well, I don't want Ross to die. I can just see him, his tail flops out and then he's just dead. And as foresters, we'll be honor bound to drag his damn corpse all the way back to the swamps. We can't leave him in the desert. That would just be.
What if we left part of him out so that the spiders ate all the flesh so that it was easier to carry back?
Oh, they're flesh-eating spiders now? That part was conveniently left out.
I think technically they take your flesh and turn it into some sort of a ooze with their venom, and then they drink it.
Yeah, that sounds
I
about
mean,
right.
sure.
That's good, because I was deathly afraid for a moment that I had just caused all of the insect life in the desert to be flesh-eating. So, oh no! I chose the form of my destroyer!
Ooh, we have appeared.
Victor Bellawin.
We should probably take off our synaptic
I want
status.
that one.
though.
Yes.
Yes.
I have not reset these tokens.
My brain still itches a little bit.
Yeah, I imagine it could be a little bit itchy. And
I'll scratch your brain. Don't worry, Rob.
Malagar probably doesn't have his aura on.
Ross is
I mean-
definitely at the one closest to the campfire. To be honest here.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a campfire because you'll smoke
Right.
yourself out.
Climate control.
So where are you at this particular point on your evening watch or your pre dawn darkness watch?
Probably
Which
Watch.
watch are we in, Paige?
Or pre-dawn.
The third
Malagar
one?
and Malagar and
Okay.
Wildfire.
I'm probably.
you should take the corner that's you should stay within eye shot of me because otherwise there's no.
So
point
I'm
in-
up on the rocks
Okay, sure.
Wait, why aren't you guys in the hut?
because we're watching.
We can see out of the hut. It's transparent.
Well, sure, but like I want to be up on the rocks.
All right.
Malagar's
It's
in the hut.
cooler that way.
That's very sporting of you, Wildfire.
Malagar's like, look, it's a lot more comfortable in here.
I'm sitting here, and Hugh and I are reading a book.
All right. So when Malagar sees this, he'll. I don't know where the door is. He'll step out and sort of wave at Wildfire.
Everywhere. The
I
door's
think
everywhere.
is
All right.
lower. Yeah.
Malagar will step out and sort of gesture and direct Wildfire's attention at the thing that's moving.
I
All
take a
right.
look at it.
You see a creature coming out of the sands here and moving stealthily towards you.
And then he'll go back and wake up everyone inside the damn hut.
Let's do this in initiative order, shall we?
What? I thought we were going to have a parlay.
Why do we
I
need
always
initiative?
roll excellent. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Yeah, because we have disadvantage because we're unconscious, right?
I hadn't considered that. Ignore my first roll.
You're
I should have used my inspiration.
Oh.
Is really what this boils
I
down
will
to.
also use inspiration then
Use Victor's inspiration as well.
to get a 19.
let's say, fuck this, I'm at -1. I'll take my disad. Ooh, and I have a 10. Surprisingly high for me.
Yeah,
Oh.
that is utterly respectable.
I don't see the initiative tracker though.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, did I even click my person? I don't think I did.
Malagar and Wildfire and the monster creature click their token.
I clicked my token.
I
This is a damn
the turn,
liar.
the turn order tracker disagrees with you.
I deserve that 3 for failing to click on my token.
Well, at least I'm going faster than Victor.
All right,
That's
so
fine.
Mine is still not
That's all
showing
that
up.
counts.
what is Ross? What was your initiative?
A 19, but for some reason I'm not. Oh,
Doesn't matter.
there I am.
Belwyn, your initiative
It's
was a 4.
Well, it was a 10.
Was it 10? Okay. Belwyn was a 10. I forgot to clear it after last time. Victor was a 3. Malagar, when are you going?
2.
Okay, so that's right. Wildfire, when are you going?
My 12 is correct.
Got it. That is not Victor. Ross, when are you going?
I'm going on a 19.
Nice.
Ross. I have 2 Rosses in there. All right, Ross, Wildfire, Victor, Belwyn, Victor, Malagar. All right, so this
Weird, because in my turn order now I don't see any Ross.
he's at the top. He's 19.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll reload my UI.
please do.
Yeah, I might need to do the same thing.
I still see no Ross, but
But that's okay.
Look at my screen. I
'Cause
promise he's in
I'm
there.
spending that 19
Okay.
leap.
Okay, so
Did-
Ross.
Because we haven't gotten a shout out yet, have we?
No, Malagar will get to shout out because he sees the attacker first. So Malagar, do your thing.
Wake up, you assholes! There's someone trying to sneak up on us. Do I get to do a thing, or I just get to speak?
No, you can take a full turn.
Oh, excellent. As everyone's waking up, I will share dark vision with all of my compatriots here, because lots of them can't see in the dark.
That does certainly slow you down a little.
And we don't have a fire going, so that puts us at a certain tactical disadvantage otherwise.
Yup.
And what else can I do? That's mostly it at this point.
All right.
Probably back up since, I know I'm kind of slow and life will be terrible in a moment.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Another creature starts coming in from this way. Malagar, you can see them.
Yeah, I mean, you'll just point them out.
Sure. A third creature starts coming in as well.
Paige, I gotta know what do these creatures look like? Do we have any sort of description on their physical features?
Yes. So the red and blue ones look like caped, or look like humanoids that are emaciated with kind of a dark gray, dusty-looking skin. And you can see like eye slits in their face, but obviously without eyes in them. And it looks kind of fleshy because it has a long, extended mouth, almost like a scream mask. This figure over here looks like kind of like a zombie wearing plate mail with wielding a greatsword.
Yeah, their swords are red.
I find it pretty great, Paige. I find it pretty great.
Wildfire, you're awake and have been alerted, so you can go ahead and act.
So, do I have any idea what these creatures are? Can I give you some kind of roll?
It would be a religion roll.
Okay. Here's my religion roll.
They're definitely undead.
Sure.
The one in the southwestern corner looks like some sort of badass zombie, and you're not sure about the two at the top.
Okay. Fair enough.
One at the northeast, one at the northwest.
That was one bad zombie.
Well, I think I might need a while to think about this page. Maybe like
What?
Maybe like a week?
Oh!
So I will tell you this.
Just fireball.
why? They're horribly out of position for that.
Has
I might
that
fire
ever stopped you
bolts,
before?
maybe, but
Go ahead and
Yes.
take your turn. Go ahead and take your turn.
Okay,
I'm going to do something cool.
okay. I firebolt red.
All right. You may certainly try.
Is it wrong that Paige saying she's going to do something cool makes me want to wait till next week?
Does
Yeah,
a 24
It's not
hit?
wrong.
I know.
24 absolutely hits. I am
13
ready.
fire damage.
Okay.
Well struck.
Nice.
All right. The firebolt sizzles against the creature's skin, and its face contorts in pain.
Oh, did you use your amulet for that?
I did not.
because
I've been working on making a custom item in Roll20 for the last 20 minutes. Haven't figured it out yet. So
Oh yeah, it's not easy.
So I will hook you up in the intervening week.
excellent.
The thing is, since it only applies to fire spells, that's not a lever we can push in D&D Beyond.
I mean, if it's a equipped item, I can equip it and unequip it as appropriate.
But this is a conversation for next.
Later.
Oh!
Conversation for a
or-
couple minutes from now.
Yes, or our porch lag, which will happen after
Yeah.
the show. All right, so this creature steps forward.
Which creature?
I'm fixing to ping on the map, the one
Yay.
on the northeast side, and its long mouth opens in a silent scream,
Oh dear.
and a ripple of necrotic energy floods forth from it.
Ugh,
Gross.
unsat.
What color is necrotic energy? Purple?
Purplish blackish, maybe like a
Yeah.
bruise.
Ooh, yes.
Deep purple.
How's
Did you
that?
say deep purple?
Yes.
Deep
did
purple.
Say
Excellent
deep
beta.
purple.
All right. So as this aura of necrotic energy rolls out, Malagar and Ross, you can feel it clutching at your hearts.
Ugh.
Should you choose to end your turn within this aura, you think there will be consequences.
No, in
And you'll
theory,
have to find out what those consequences are next week on Feats and Fables. Yes, I just had a plan.
Okay, say words, Paige.
Yes.
Words. All right, let me put the right music on for the words.
Music.
All right.
Pause 1 sec.
Oh.
Did you stop the show?
No, I'm just transitioning us to a different scene.
Oh, got it.
Ah.
Feeling whiplash.
Alrighty. Thank you, folks, for joining us on Feats and Fables and following us to this particular adventure. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you, chat, for your inspiration, and enjoy the DM inspiration that you got. We love having you. We'd like to thank our listeners and supporters, particularly
Brother Flounder 47 and Old Sotager, our newest subscribers. And shout out to Spellhawks Press that followed us yesterday.
Hey, Stalks. After the stream, we're going to have our special porch lag for about 15 minutes of Q&A and shooting the breeze, so join us for that. Please join us next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to see what happens next, and follow us
To
adventure!